Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to tune in. Much appreciated. Out here in the tackle room for another late night edition of Intuitive Angling. And in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about Jim Moynagh's recent video. I posted it, if you guys didn't see it, posted a link to it in my Facebook a couple days ago, and I'll also post a link to the video in the description here. And I want to talk about Jim's video and about how really important it was. It sort of went viral for him, and I want to sort of go over it a little bit in today's video. But just real quick, a couple of housekeeping tips. Just want to remind you guys, if you all are looking for any boat financing, Boatworks here in Springfield, Missouri has Summit Financing, which is, it'll finance any boat that you want, new, used. You don't even have to buy it through them. You can just use the financing. These companies ran by fishermen, for fishermen, and if you use my name, if you mention my name, Randy Blockett, when you call Summit Financing, which I'll include the link in the description here, you get a $100 gift certificate to the Baitworks tackle store, which is one of the coolest tackle stores I've ever been into. And just another reminder, just want to remind you guys, if you guys are interested in any on the water lessons with me this fall, got jerkbait season coming up. Shoot me a private message on my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler, and I'll give you all the details on that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Jim's video. Jim took some time, and the premise of it was he broke down the realities of tournament fishing from a financial standpoint. And he actually went through his season last year, and I won't spoil the video too much. You can watch it yourself. But basically, he went through the video and laid out all of his individual expenses that he incurred throughout the course of the year, and added his winnings to it, and came up with the reality of the finances in professional fishing. And in Jim's case, he qualified for the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit Championship, finished 27th in the points, which was a solid year, and he still lost $4,000 for the year. So it was an eye-opening experience, to say the least. And that video, the reason Jim's video was so important in that is I think it really lays out the reality of the financial aspect of professional fishing, whether it be good or bad. And it's sort of like what you have here. It's like you've got, in this particular sport, you've got 5% of the anglers out there that are making, a good living through fishing. These are the upper echelon. Most of the guys have either won a tournament of the year, solid sponsorships, a combination of it, but really only about 5, possibly 10% of the anglers out there are making enough money to what would be called to make a decent living in the sport of fishing. And then the other 90% are basically either losing money big time or just breaking even. That's sort of the reality of the whole situation. And it's sort of an interesting analyzation of where the sport is, because I don't quite understand a lot of the payout structure here. For example, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, FLW was paying back 140% payout in the tournaments. In other words, they paid out 100% of the entry fees that came in, plus they chipped in 40% of their own as well. A lot of the circuits out here today, guys, in 2021, they don't even pay out the entry fees. They pocket 25, 30% of the entry fees, and the anglers are only fishing for 70% of their own money, which is ridiculous. So, the point remains, it's like, from an angler standpoint, when is this basically just going to get fair to the anglers? When are anglers going to have a tournament circuit out there, or across the board, where at least they finish, fishing for their own money? And tournament fishing, guys, I've done it for a living for over 30 years, 35 years. That's all I've ever wanted to do. Ever since I was a little kid in grade school and middle school, I wanted to be a professional fisherman. And in my case, I never one time wanted to fish professionally to make a lot of money. It's like that was not what it was about. I wanted to fish professionally because I loved it. I loved the fishing. I loved the competition. I loved the energy behind it. and making money on it was it was a bonus. I mean, I would have, gladly, and I did for a long time, just scrape by bare bones, living as cheap as you possibly can just to be out there on the water. And I think there's a segment of the anglers that are still like that. The way that I sort of see this whole thing in professional fishing in 2021 is you've got probably 25% of the anglers out there that are just independently wealthy. They've got businesses, they got family money, somebody's throwing them money that doesn't have any vested interest in them outside of they just want to help them out. And that number's growing simply because fishing is so expensive anymore that those are just getting to be the only people that can actually do it. Those people that have some type of an independent wealth, behind them. Then you have, I'm going to guess, 50% of the guys out there, and I'm talking about like the tour type level events. 50% of the guys out there are making ends meet, but they're not really getting ahead at all. They're just paying their bills. They're making enough money to stay in fishing, making enough money to maybe make their car payment and their mortgage payment with none left over. And then you've got 25% of the people that are just simply going broke. They just don't, their credit cards are maxed. They just don't have any money. It's just the thing's a money pit for them. And really, that's sort of the way it's always been. There was a heyday back in the late 90s and early 2000s where that was a lot smaller fraction. You had a lot more money into the sport during that time frame. There was competition between FLW and bass. Purses were big. Entry fees were lower in relative terms. But other than that, it's always been sort of a deal where guys were just, struggling to get by. But the thing about fishing professionally, it's like, for the people that want to do it, I mean, it's something that you have to love. You have to love it to the extent where that is the thing that makes you just want to get up in the morning. It makes you feel alive. It makes you, have a purpose in life. And it's something that if you don't have it, you actually lose part of yourself. Part of yourself dies if you don't have it. And I think that's the way it is in most competitive sports, that, if you don't have that passion and that desire, unless you just have money to throw at it, you simply can't make it. The cool thing about passion and desire, it doesn't matter if it's professional fishing or whatever sport, if you have that passion and desire, which, by the way, cannot be faked. You either have it or you don't. It can't be learned. It can't be, construed. It's just something you have or you don't have it. If you have that, though, it will demand that you get everything else. And like in my own case, I knew I wanted to do this ever since I was 14 or 15, and I never had a girlfriend until I was 21 years old, simply because I did not want to spend the money or take the time to have one. I was totally focused on what I was doing at that age, and I was willing to make whatever sacrifices necessary, to be on the water and to pursue that. And that's sort of what you have to have. Everybody's situation is different with that. But anyway, just a very interesting YouTube video by Jim Moynagh. Check it out. It's under his YouTube channel. It's called Moynagh Bass Fishes, Moynagh. I talked about it a few days ago. I'll include the link in the description to the video here. And I think you'll find it interesting. It's a 35-minute video. I think it's pretty cool. But the more I've thought about it the last couple days, it really rings with me. And also, Johnny and I at Fish the Moment Live, we did our Fish the Moment Live podcast last night on sort of the very subject. Johnny actually he broke down, the payout structure. He broke down what all the anglers on the top tours were making, and sort of had compiled this data to sort of see how much money guys were making or not. So you can check that out by going to the Fish the Moment Live YouTube channel, and that podcast, you'll be able to check it out on there. Fish the Moment Live, the one we did last night. So anyway, that's today's video. Much appreciated. Again, if you guys are interested in financing that boat, go check out Summit Financing through Boatworks. Check out the Baitworks Tackle Store. I'll put all the links in the description here. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later.